Can we apply Kanban to any industry? And if so, how? Well, Kanban, as we said before, is a lens that you apply to your current ways of working and find improvements. So principles, Kanban started with manufacturing. You go back to how it started, it was Toyota, if you like, which started in manufacturing. We don't need to go into details of that, but what about if you're working in creative and knowledge work? You could be an advertising agency, could be a marketing agency. How does it apply to you? Well, it applies to you in these ways. First of all, it allows you to visualize the work. So where is the work? And what are the key steps you need to go through in order to fulfill the customer demand? The other thing that it allows you to do, you start to put measures onto that system of work. Say, how long does it take to do one of these? How many of them can we deliver in a week or in a day? And this allows you to get insight in how you're working and then apply improvements to that system. The other thing that Kanban systems do is forces you to make the weighting explicit. Typically, we think as soon as we finish one piece of work, we start working on it, it goes from one step to the other. If it's us working on it, if one person can do all the steps, that's fine. You just take it and go through all the steps and finish it. Now, typically, in pretty much every organization, because of technology, because of specializations, it's very difficult for one person to know everything. And you may know everything, but you won't be as good as some colleague that you have who has got deep specialization in another area. So yes, we all have an understanding of the overall, but we have specialist knowledge. So when work moves from one person or one station to another, the assumption is that other station is just waiting for it to arrive and to start working on it. Reality is that's not the case. They are already working on something. So there is an implied wait state that we don't have because we just push working. So we create that wait state to say, well, I finished with it and it's waiting for the next person or the next station to pick the work up. So once you make that wait state explicit and you show where the work waits are, it then allows you, as people who work in that, to see where the weight is the highest and act on that system. Now, we said before that a Kanban system is not just about visualizing the work and having these wait states and the workflow. It's about limiting the amount of work in process. So you've limited the number of things that you're working on. And then you can see these wait states. So you can see work piling up in here. And then you can start to act on it. To say, how can we limit the time that work is waiting? So if a particular specialist is very busy, let's say the copywriter is getting overwhelmed with work, then what do? So you have options. A, you reduce the number of work that you put in. In other words, the others need to slow down a little bit so that you don't overwhelm and stress the copywriter, so the quality of their work starts to be affected because they are overworked and overburdened. The next thing we can do is see what are those activities that our copywriter is doing that some of us can help with. And they can tell us, they can guide us, what kind of help can we deliver to them. If none of those are possible, you say, well, no, we can't do anything like that. Then the rest of the people in that team or in that system can work on improvement activities that do not create more work for the copywriter. or they can take other pieces of work that do not need copywriting. So that's how you improve the system of work. So I just use copywriting as an example, but it could be any system of work and any type of work, whether it's marketing, whether it's advertising, whatever you're doing, whether it's software development, whether it's a support system, help desk system, any of those, you can use a Kanban system to improve it.
I'd love to work with your organization and make sure you are also achieving results that I have achieved with other organizations. Want to learn more? Look up www.valueglide.com or link with me on any of my social media channels.